Time for the out. The Rebels are headed to Omaha.
Breck Jones here for the Rebel Watch Postgame report, along with Rippee of the Daily Mississippian. Ole Miss falls 4-0 to the number 10 South Carolina Gamecocks. What happened today?
It's much of the same. South Carolina pitching was just kind of dominated all weekend. Ole Miss was never able to get anything going. You know, you got to tip your hat to them. I think their starter went past the 6th inning all 3 days. They had a complete game yesterday. The guy Friday went 8. So it was a tough weekend all around at the plate, and 3 errors didn't help either.
This was just, like you said, it was a tough weekend the whole weekend. What do you think they need to do moving forward? Do you think they ought to switch up the rotation a little bit? Do you give some guys a different look?
I'm not sure he switched stuff up yet. Bianco said after the game, Pagnozzi said on Tuesday he knew he was starting, and the plan was to rest Johnson. He wasn't even on the rest list because of deteriorating velocity, and his stuff had kind of gone away a little bit, and I think the plan all along was just to rest him for a week. Bianco said he'd be back next week. He said he'd have to throw a couple bullpens, whether to specify he was going to start next week or not, so I don't think it's time to shake everything up yet. It was just kind of an odd weekend. Like, you were forced to bring Short in the 3rd inning, which is probably the longest outing in his career. It's got to be close. That's a possibility. You could bring Stokes into the 3rd starting role if that's possible, but I think for right now you just kind of see if you can get Sean Johnson back into that 3rd slot and try to get healthy and just get back on track. I don't think it's time to mix too many things up yet.
Like you said, Wyatt Short had a long outing today. He was very productive. He only gave up 1 run. I think it was unearned, but do you think that maybe he could get a look at starting potentially?
He hadn't started since high school, but he said his arm's ready and they've had him ready for it, and him and Bianco discussed that before the season, but I don't think it happens anywhere in the near future. I think things would have to get worse, or there'd have to be an injury for that to happen right now, because Pagnozzi and his 2 starts prior had been good. Granted, they weren't SEC starts, but after the 1st inning today, he really kind of settled down. It's just the 1st inning where they put up a 3-spot killed him. So I don't think it's time for all that yet. I think it's still really Pagnozzi and Johnson if he can stay healthy and be sharp. So for right now, no, but that's definitely an option going down the line if things don't get better.
Mississippi State beat Georgia this weekend. They've looked really good. Took 2 out of 3 from Vanderbilt. They've swept Oregon. What do the Rebels need to do to go over to Starkville and be able to actually pull out a series win? Yeah,
it doesn't get any easier. Then you have that game in Memphis in the midweek that's always a tough one up at AutoZone. And they're just going to have to play. I mean, they have to pretty much do everything better. It sounds dumb, but they didn't hit well, they didn't pitch well, and they didn't field well this weekend. So they'll have their work cut out for them against a pretty solid pitching staff in Mississippi State next weekend. I think they just need to shake this off. I mean, they're just a bad weekend. They were 5-1 in all 5-game road, 4-1 in a 5-game road trip last week, and then came home and just not much went right all weekend. So I think you just kind of shake this off and try to get back playing better defensively and pitching better in particular, because that's 2 things they did well all year that helped them get to this point, and they didn't do any of that well this weekend.
Well, again, the final score 4-0. South Carolina Gamecocks complete the sweep of Ole Miss here in Oxford. Next game is next Tuesday against the University of Memphis. For Rippee, I'm Breck Jones. Thanks for watching.